the sky is blue, it makes me cry. Because the sky is blue.
Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com, and in this week's ukulele lesson, Katie is going to be teaching you how to play Because by the Beatles. So, as you guys heard, a really cool sounding song, but I think what the standout of this piece is the harmony. So the harmony is the chords that you're going to be playing. So that chord progression is going to be finger picked, and it just has a hauntingly beautiful sound to it. Now, what we did to make it a bit easier to play is that we are using a capo, and Katie's going to talk a little bit about this, but we're going to be putting a capo onto the 4th fret. So I'm going to put a link below to a couple capos that I recommend. The one that I use, though, is the G7, which is a guitar capo. And the reason that I use this is because you can apply how much pressure. See, a regular capo works the same as a clothespin. So imagine that my pinky finger is the neck. So if I put the clothespin on the finger, it only has one setting for pressure. I can't adjust the pressure. So usually what happens is that when you put that capo on, it's going to be pushing too much. And when you push down too hard on a string, it pulls the string sharp. So that's why I use the G7, just because I can adjust the pressure manually. So let me go ahead and clamp it on there. And you can hear a few aren't really ringing clear, so I can just push a little bit more, and we get a nice sound. So I'll put a link towards this one in the description box below, as well as the traditional ukulele capo, which should be a little bit cheaper. Either one works, just know that sometimes they do push too hard, and that would require you to retune, and then when you take the capo off, you'd have to retune. So that's why I use the G7, because it only applies enough pressure, same as if you were to do it by yourself using your finger as a bar. So the last point that I want to make about the capo is that you can play this song without it. You're just going to be in a different key. Now, if you put it on the 4th fret, like this lesson has and the performance has, you're going to be in the same key as the original recording. But you are free to move it down or up to better match your vocal range. So keep that in mind too. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this lesson. So in this YouTube video, you're going to learn the entire song, but if you want to get the assets that accompany the lesson, you can click this link or go to the site rockclass101.com, do a search for Because. Now on that page, you'll be able to get the tabs that you can print off and file along with as a PDF format, as well as access the on-screen tab viewer. Now this is a really cool feature where you can hit play, watch the tab scroll across in real time. You can highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish. Just a really great asset in learning this song that much easier. All right guys, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Katie to teach you how to play this song, and then I'll see you at the end of the video.
Hey everyone, I'm Katie, and today we're going to learn a version of Because by the Beatles. Now there's a couple of things that I want you to note. 1, I have my capo placed on fret number 4. It's because if I don't have my capo on fret number 4, I actually arranged this without the capo. It was a very difficult arrangement. And then I placed my capo on fret number 1. That was significantly easier. But there were quite a few bar chords in that piece, and I know that there are quite a few of you out there that do not like bar chords. So if you place your capo on fret number 4, it completely eliminates the bar chords, so thumbs up there. Even though the piece is in E major, I'll be referring to certain shapes as A minor, B flat, just to help anchor you and orient you to something that's familiar. The second thing that I'd like you to note is that I have strung this ukulele with a low G. Because this piece revolves around arpeggios, I wanted the first note of the arpeggio to be the lowest note of the arpeggio, so the bass note, the root note. And so in order just to have it make sense, you have the low G so that it just brings out that low note. If you don't have a low G, the piece will still make sense. It'll still sound pretty. It just might make more sense to you. And also to your ears, it may not confuse your ears as much if you have that low G. Last thing I want you to note is that the ukulele is parallel to the floor for the split screen, but proper technique requires the ukulele neck to be up this way. It's going to be so much easier for these different kind of chord shapes, but for the tutorial, it has to be parallel. So just note that when you're practicing, bring that neck up. It's going to be a lot easier. Let's get into the tutorial. So first of all, I'm going to assign each finger a string. So my thumb is going to be in charge of these two strings, the G and the C string. Finger number 1 will be in charge of the E string, and the middle finger, the A string. So we have thumb, thumb, pointer, middle. If you assign these fingers to these strings, it's just going to be so much easier when you're just looking at the tablature. So the first two measures will sound like this. So I'm going to break that down slowly. I have my left hand in an A minor shape. And first, I am going to pluck the G string with my thumb. Then I'm going to pluck the E string. So it's open, so you see a 0 on the tablature. Then pluck the open A string. So we have thumb, pointer, middle. Now I'm going to place my pinky on the 3rd fret of the A string. So I have thumb, pointer, open A string, now 3rd fret A string. Now release and pluck that open A string again. Now we pluck the E string, then the C string, back to the E string. So let's try that slowly. Thumb, pointer, middle, 3rd fret, open, pointer, thumb, middle. Let's try that again. Thumb, pointer, middle, 3rd fret, open, pointer, thumb, middle. So let's try that again. Thumb, pointer, middle, pinky, middle, pointer, thumb, middle. This next shape is a little funky for this measure, but if you keep your pointer finger here on the 1st fret of the E string and use that as your anchor, everything should be fine. So I'm going to place my ring finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and like I said, finger number 1 is here on the 1st fret. So first I pluck the G string, then the E string, open A string. I like to release my ring finger just to give my middle finger just a little bit more mobility to place it on the 2nd fret of the A string. Open A string, 1st fret E string, open C string, then 2nd fret C string. So let's try that slowly. So we have 1 and 4, thumb, pointer, open, 2nd fret, open, 1st fret, open C string, 2nd fret. Try that one more time. Let's move on to the next one. This shape is just a little bit funky too. So I'm going to take my ring finger, place it on the 4th fret again of the G string, and then on my pinky, I'm going to place that on the 4th fret here, but Just to let you know, we're going to play that string open first, but then my pinky is going to be placed on the 4th fret. So just so you can see the whole shape. And then we have G string, open E string, now pinky, 4th fret. See that? Thumb, pointer, pointer. So it's the same string. You might be tempted to play another string. Nope, play the same one. So we have G string, E string, E string, and then you can place your middle finger here, or what you can do is you can release your ring finger like that, because you're not going to need that again for the G string. It's just going to be a little bit easier instead of having this big old stretch like that. Not all of us are that cool. I have really short fingers, so that's true. So we have ring finger, 4th fret, open, 4th fret, now 2nd fret, 4th fret, open. So let's try that. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Let's try those first 4 measures together. Four and 1. Now we have 4, 4, 2, 4, 0. Let's move on to the 5th measure. So I'm going to place finger number 1 on the 1st fret of the E string, and I'm going to pluck the E string, open A string, 3rd fret, open again, back to the 1st fret. You can keep your finger there, I just released it there, so I would suggest that you actually keep your pointer finger down, like that. Next measure, very similar, but now we have the open E string. All right, so let's try those 2. So we have rest, and 2 and 3, 4. Next one, rest, open, open, 3, open, open. Now this next one, I'm going to take finger number 1, place that on the 3rd fret of the C string. Then I'm going to place finger number 3 right here on the 5th fret, and finger number 4 on the 6th fret. So I'm making almost like a descending staircase. Do you see that? Now I'm going to play the C string, E string, A string, and then I go back. E string, C string. So try that. Rest. Now this next shape, very, very similar. All you have to do is take your pinky, bring it back down 1 fret toward the headstock. Play the same strings, C, E, A string. So let's try that from measure 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1, 0, 3, 0, 1. 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 3, 5, 6. Now, take your pinky back to the 5th fret. This next shape, what you could do is that you could actually hold a B flat chord like this. Some people actually prefer the bar chord. I actually have met one person that likes that. The rest, not so much. But if you have your fingers in a B flat chord like this, so finger number 1 is across the first fret of these two strings, finger number 2 on the second fret, finger number 3 right here, so it looks like stairs, do 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 do, B flat. And then first I am going to pluck the G string, then the E string, A string, pinky reaches to the 5th fret. Release your pinky, pointer finger, E string, C string, pointer finger. So you don't have to move your fingers at all, really. You just have to add the pinky if you hold that B flat chord. So let's try that. Thumb, pointer, middle, add the pinky 5th fret, pointer, thumb, pointer. Now from that B flat, I'm going to show you just a little something that just might help you mentally to find this chord. Find a G shape. Okay, so you're just regular standard G. Now, if you have fret markers right here, I call that your ukulele GPS. If you have that, then find your dot right here on the 3rd fret. Place your pointer finger, middle finger here on the 3rd fret, and your ring finger on the 4th fret. So if you have this G shape right here, if you can think G shape, just move it over and then everything one closer to your nose, one string closer to your nose, that just might help. So first we pluck so we're holding this shape right here. I'm going to pluck the G string, then the C string with my thumb. Pointer finger, E string, then my pinky is going to kick out to the 5th fret, and I'm going to pluck the A string. So it will be thumb, thumb, pointer, middle. Now take your pinky, kick it back 1 fret toward the headstock. So we have 3, 3, 4, 4. You get that awesome chord. That's my favorite part. So we have thumb, thumb, pointer, middle, 3, 4, 4, and 4. So let's try that from that B flat. Thumb, pointer, middle, 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 pointer, thumb, pointer. Find that mini G shape, kick your pinky out. B flat. Diminished chord. B flat. Diminished chord. So the verse does repeat itself over and over again, but it's sandwiched between a bridge. So you have verse, verse, bridge, verse, verse. Here's the bridge. We have a D chord. I've seen D played this way and this way. I prefer this way because it just leaves that A string open, and we need that A string open. So first I'm going to pluck the G string, then the C string, and then the E string. So we have our little D arpeggio. Then open A, back to the E string, C string, G string, C string. So see my thumb is going to bounce between these two strings. So we have thumb, thumb, pointer, middle, pointer, thumb, thumb, thumb. And then we play that again, but there's a tie instead. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let's try that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now this next measure I like to bar, but I'm going to show you a different way so that you can avoid the bar chord if you'd like to. I'm going to bar the 2nd fret with my pointer finger, and if this is your first bar chord, or if bar chords are just not your favorite thing, what I suggest you do is that you don't use the flat of your finger like this, because you see my knuckle is tempted to bend. I'm going to bring my my finger up just a little bit so the knuckle is on the fretboard, and I'm going to roll it onto its side. So if you see the little indentations, they're on the side of my finger, not the flat of my finger. And I'm going to bring my elbow close to my body for a little bit more leverage, and then I'm going to roll it onto its side and bring it as close to the fret as I possibly can, but not on top of it, because then it's just going to muffle the strings. And then I have ring finger on the 4th fret, and then pinky right here on the 4th fret as well. If you don't like the bar chord, what you could do is that you could take fingers 1 and 2, place that on the 2nd fret here of the C and the A string, and then ring finger pinky, or fingers 3 and 4, place that on the 4th fret and the 4th fret, the G and the E string. That works too. I am going to bar though, because that's just something that I prefer. So measure 33, thumb, thumb, pointer, middle, pointer, thumb, thumb, thumb. Keep your fingers in this position, whatever position you would like, the bar chord or just having your fingers on each string. Then I pluck the G string again, C string, E string, A string. Now from here, I'm going to slide all the way up to my 7th fret, like that. So I'm going to choose the 3rd fret or the 2nd fret, and I'm going to slide from there. So I'm going to pluck and then slide all the way up to the 7th fret. Let's try that together. I am going to use the bar chord. You can use the other shape if you would like to. Thumb, thumb, pointer, middle, pointer, thumb, 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 pointer, middle, slide, 7th fret. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bar chord or whatever you'd like. Slide. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bar chord or whatever you'd like. Slide. B flat, diminished chord, one and two and three and four, and next measure, one and two and three and four, bar chord or whatever you'd like. Slide. And after the bridge, you play 2 more verses. So it's very repetitive. You have verse, verse, bridge, verse, verse. Like I said before, it's sandwiched. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
All right, guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. A really, really cool finger picking piece to learn. Just a beautiful sounding harmony in this song. So I do want to remind you that if you want to get the assets that accompany this lesson, those were available at this link. So again, those were the tabs that you can print off and keep for your records, as well as that on-screen tab viewer. So that interactive tab player where you can highlight bars, loop sections, just a really, really great asset for working on learning songs much easier. So all of that was on this page, or by going to the site rockclass101.com, doing a search for Because. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.